Claude just released a new update and it's amazing. Okay, deep breath. There are 3 major updates that we are going to talk about in this video. Watch the video till the end because I'm sure at least one of these updates is gonna be very much helpful for your work. So let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to talk about is called routine. And the way to access it is that you have to download Claude app on your computer. And then at the top here, we have chat, we have co-work, and we have Claude Code. Now you may say, okay, I'm not coding. That's not the point. Even if you're not coding, this feature is gonna help you a lot. So when you come to code, here in this menu, routines added. And the way it works is that you can set some automated task that you want it to be repeated at a certain time. The way it works is that you have to come here, click on new routine, and here you have 2 options, local or remote. Local will be on your computer, and when you turn off your computer, it will not work. But if you select remote, it will be on Claude servers, so it doesn't matter if your computer is on or off, it will work automatically. So I'm going to select remote. Here you can select a name for it, and then in this part, you can write your prompt, whatever it is. You can specifically mention all the tasks or all the steps that Claude need to take to complete this automation. For example, here I made one automation, daily email report on Slack. So if I click on it, if I come to edit, here you can see this is the name and this is the prompt that I mentioned. And what it does is that I mentioned that every day at a specific time that I mentioned below, go on my email and check the emails that I received from previous day that I didn't read, that they are unread. Read them, analyze them, summarize them, and then sort them with the highest to lowest priority, and then post them in our Slack group in this channel. So I read the summary and decide which one I have to respond first, or if there is something important in them. So here you can come down, you can select the time. If you want to schedule it, you can select the time. And then based on the tasks that you have asked, you can select the connectors that you want it to have access. For example, here I want it to have access to my Gmail and my Slack group. And in order to add connectors, if you don't know how to do it, you have to come to Claude on your browser and go to settings on your account. And here in the list, you can find connectors. And then here you can come select on connect on the tool that you want, or you can browse the connectors and select the one that you want and then connect it. It's very straightforward and simple. So this was one automation that I said. You can set anything. For example, you can set, let's say I am in the field, I'm working in the field of AI and I want to get the core news of AI every day. So I can write a prompt that, for example, every day at this time, go online, check YouTube, check Google, check different platforms, check specifically, for example, these channels, see what content they released, analyze the content. If there is something new, create a summary, add bullet points, then share it, for example, on my Slack, or send a message to me on my WhatsApp or on my Telegram, okay? So there are many things that you can do with it. You can set a routine that you can schedule it for hourly, daily, weekly, okay? Or it could be custom. So whether you're using Claude Code or not, this routine system can help you to automate some tasks that normally you have to spend some time doing them yourself, or you have to hire someone to do it for you. The second thing that we are going to talk about is Claude Design. You're going to be shocked. So when you are on Claude on their website, here there is a new category added called Design. When you click on it, you will jump on a page like this that you can start from a prototype. You can sketch something yourself and ask Claude to create the design. It could be wireframe or high fidelity like this. And if you are interested to learn more about Claude Design, leave a comment below. And I would do my best to create a complete tutorial deep tutorial about Claude Design, but I'm just going to show you how it works quickly. So you can come here to design system. I have already created one system. I'm going to show you how you can create another one. I'm going to click on create. And then on the next page, here I can mention my company name and share some information about my business. For example, I may have some fonts and logo. I can drag and drop them here. I may have a folder on my computer which include all of this content, like the codes of my website or some information about it, some PDFs about it, some other files that can help Claude to understand more about my business. Then after I shared all of those content, at the bottom, if I have a specific note that what I want Claude to do, I can mention it here. I already did that. This is the landing page of one of my products, Rangi. It's a cool software. If you don't know it, it's a cool software to generate AI images and AI videos, and you can get it for free. So I get the code of this page, okay, the source code, by right-clicking and coming here, clicking on View Page Source. I just copy-pasted this code into a HTML file and then uploaded it here. Here, I dragged and dropped it here, and then clicked on Continue to Generate. Then on the next page, you won't believe it. So in the center, we have all the different designs that we may need. So here we have the website. It redesigned the website for me. And if you like it, you can click on looks good. If you want to make some changes, you can click on need work and then mention what is the issue with it. For example, I can come and say the pricing cards aren't so poorly designed, improve them. Let's say I have no idea what to do with it. I wrote down improve the pricing card design, make them more engaging and attention grabbing. The Pro version, which is this one, the Pro version is our most popular version, so make it exciting. I just click on submit. It will send my request here on the left side, and then Claude start working. And the thing is that these are not just design. It almost works. You can hover your mouse on it. You can see different effects. Okay. It is working, it is moving, and it is really, really, really amazing to create such a thing in a very short time by just writing a couple of prompts and getting amazing results. So while this is working on our marketing page, let's look at what other things it designed for me. It created a desktop app, let's say for our application, and it redesigned everything and it looks so good. For example, I saw this and I mentioned here in the needs work, I mentioned that can you add a place for members that, for example, they can see their profile, they can see their credit and so on. It designed immediately this part, and if I click on it, I can see the information here. I can check how it works, and it really looks cool. And the way it is generating, it show me the process. It's amazing. If we come down, here there are some other things it designed, like label and text tones, hyperscale, brand colors. It designed everything itself from the content that I shared, from the logo, from the landing page that I shared, and it goes on and on. For example, here for the brand, we have the logo. And I mentioned the color was a little bit different. It was a gradient. And I mentioned, I want the same color, but I want it to have a shine. And now you can see this shine. It was added on it. Of course, it had an issue. For example, this bottom part of these two letters was cut. So again, I mentioned that, all right, by clicking here, I mentioned that, all right, this part, it's not complete. So fix it. And this is the final result that I got. So you can little by little, either you can come here and click on need work and explain what you want, or you can come here and mention. For example, I mentioned that, can you design the mobile application for this product? And then it designed this. So it has a couple of pages like generate, we have our AI model, we have our prompt, and we can select the AI model that we want. and click on generate, and it will start generating. Here are the rest of the pages. For example, it is generating. Here we can see our library. Here is the page for our models, and finally our profile. It designed everything itself in a couple of minutes, and it's amazing. So it is still working on our landing page. As you can see, it is working on it. It is verifying if you see it is just scrolling and it is checking the final result that it made to make sure everything is working fine. That's why I'm saying this update is crazy. So you can do many different things with it, and yeah, it's done. So let's look at it. So let's come here. All right, so here is the result, and you can see the changes. It is different. Now this one is the most popular, and the design is amazing. Although I don't like this rectangle turning, rotating in the background. It is distracting, but the overall result, it's amazing. I really like it. With just one prompt, we got this result. And one thing, when you're happy with your result, you can come here, click on share. You can download it as a zip, as a PDF, or even hand it off to Claude Code. So the third update that we are going to talk about is, of course, Claude Opus 4.7, which became much smarter and stronger. And here we have 3 tests. Quickly, I will show you the difference between Claude Opus 4.6 and Opus 4.7. So here, I asked it with the exact same prompt. I asked it to create a video game for us. And this is Claude Opus 4.6. And here is the result. And it looks really cool. Both of them did a good job. But of course, Claude Opus 4.7 was much better and more complete. For example, here, if you pay attention, we have some rewards. This is how it works. We can get some rewards, but if I want to use keys on my keyboard, I can't do it because it doesn't work. Now let's look at the result we got on Claude Opus 4.7. Now it's more or less the same thing, but it is with the same prompt, we got a better result. Look at the design here. Look at the style. It doesn't start before we click, and we can use arrows on the keyboard to play. And when we play it, for example, these are multiply rewards, and we can see the name on them. So it is way more complete with the exact same prompt. That's the difference. So this was the first example that we got here. The second example, I got this image from Google. The part that Claude Opus 4.7 got much better is to recognizing content even in an image as poor as this is. You can see the text are blurred out. There are many items here. There are many texts. It's very hard to read. I shared this same image on both Opus 4.6 and 4.7 and asked it to look at the image, list every component, value, and label you can see there. Okay, so this is what Opus 4.6 did. It recognized some of them, but not all. And as you can see, here it wrote down resistors, the different models of them, and the rest of the items that we had in that image. And for Opus 4.7, it did a much better job and way more complete. So you can see it lists every single thing, explain them one by one separately, and found out all the items that we had, even the ones that is very hard to read by eye. It found out all of them and created a complete list. The next example that we have here is that you can find any image online. For example, I found this UI design of an app, and I just shared it with Claude and asked it to create an HTML file as close as you can to this design. So this is the result done by Claude Opus 4.6. And you can see that here at the top, we have the profile part. We have some other content here, but if we want to compare it exactly, it is not exactly the same. For example, here, each part has its own separate section, as you can see. Only here it followed these two sections. For this part, it changed the structure completely. Okay, and now let's look at the result we got by Opus 4.7, and here's the result. Let's just scroll down. So here we have a separate section for our user profile. Here we have a separate section with more or less the same colors and the information. Then we have quick send part, which here we have it. And then we have the transactions. For example, for Netflix, you spend this much. For Uber, you spend this much, and so on. And you can see, obviously, it is way better than Opus 4.6. So these were the 3 major updates that Claude released recently. I hope you like them. If you're interested in any of them, for example, you want to see more tutorials on routines or more tutorials on Claude Design specifically, you can leave a comment below and I will create a deep tutorial for that topic. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like and leave a comment. So this way I will understand you are interested in this kind of videos and I will make more of them for you. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, click on subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss our upcoming trainings and tutorials. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you soon on the next one.